Hey y'all. So it's January 3rd, right? We're just 3 days into the so-called New Year, right? Even though it's still the dead of winter. But that's another thing. Anyways, right? So my thing is this. Why is nonsense already kicking off at the beginning of the year? I think it was either like New Year's Eve or New Year's, but there was this there a Tesla car or a Tesla truck blew up in front of Trump Towers. Then some people got shot and killed in New York. And then you had some car rioting or something going on in New Orleans, right? And I say that because, on my social media, I've seen all these different people marking themselves safe in New Orleans and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, what the hell is going on? Because personally, I don't watch the news. I don't watch the news because it's just nothing but negativity. So I try to be conscious about where my mind is. The media is always pumping out death, is always pumping out negativity. And, I noticed that when I did watch the news and tune in, it's just like I felt heavy. And it was like a depression type of energy. But when I cut that off and I stopped entertaining the news media, Fox News, CNN, and all that stuff, my energy shifted. I was able to be more in a positive mind space, positives, just positivity. Because, every time, say, I engage with, say, coworkers or neighbors or whoever, they always want to be like, so what do you think about what happened on the news? And I'd be like, what happened on the news? You didn't hear? No, because I don't watch the depressing news. So what happened? Oh, well, there was a shootout here, or so-and-so got carjacked and shot. I'm like, people are getting shot every day or dying every day. This is not news. Children are disappearing every day. Amber alerts. A lot of things are going on in our world in a negative capacity every day. I'm not going to sit here and turn a blind eye to it like I don't see it, like I don't know it. You know what I'm saying? For me personally, what I did was, like, with the Amber alerts, because they be loud as shit, I turned mine off. Because for me, what I've noticed is these really don't even be kids that are kidnapped majority of the time. These are just angry baby mamas using the Amber Alert system, to get the man to comply. The man didn't do something that she liked or she wanted. Oh, well, bring my kid back home. He's like, no, I just picked him up. Whatever little domestic dispute they got going on. And because personally, too much information about the so-called kidnapper for them to just be a kidnapper. You know what I'm saying? The men who call the Amber Alert system, too much information from how this woman looks to the car she drives. Same thing with the men that are descriptive. And it's like, I feel like when a child is kidnapped, how do you know? Unless you seen somebody take, your child and they drove off in a silver Honda, how are you going to gain all this information? There's only so much information you would see. Oh, they was in a silver Honda. It was a tall man or woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only so much description you can give, but when it's super detailed, I got to question it in my mind and be like, there's too much information. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. For me, I just feel like keep an eye on your kids. Right now, you guys, remember, we just had all those immigrants pour into the country earlier around this time in 2024. They are still here. the Venezuelans are still doing what they do in Colorado, and, there are still immigrants in New York and, these different places. And I don't care what anybody says. I do think that there are sleeper cells here, and that when the time comes off to kick off chaos in the major cities across America, be mindful. Just be vigilant is all I'm saying. When you go to the gas station, when you go to the grocery store, when you go to and from work or whatever. Because to me, the big cities are the ones that are going to more than likely get hit and, whatever. But, seriously, think about it. What are the chances of all the foreigners being here, right? And then, all this chaos is popping off in different cities. New Orleans, New York, and then I forgot. I think Donald Trump's towers are located, I guess, in New York. I really don't know where, but what are the chances of a Tesla truck blowing up in front of his building, hurting lots of people? I'm just saying. It starts. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of people who are angry that Trump is, he won. There is assassination attempts. I'm not sure if I really believe the assassination attempts to be real or not. I don't know. I look at it this way. The world is a stage. And I say that because you mean to tell me more than one shot was taken towards Trump or whatever, but nobody ducked. Nobody ran away and panicked. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I kind of think it was staged, but I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. But I can say this, that, let's say they were successful in that assassination. Civil war would have kicked off, because we know how the people are how they acted by storming the White House or whatever back in, when was that? Was that 2023? 2022? 2021? I can't even remember when the hell it was. But when all those people stormed, the White House or whatever, to this day, some people are still being arrested for that, which is crazy. But I'm just saying, if they would have took Trump out, it would have been full out civil war. That's what I think. And so at the same time, the Democrats, their best card was Kamala. I never heard of Kamala until this election, but doing some background about her or whatever, she was like a DA, and, she was trying to pin cases on Michael Jackson. That's why Janet Jackson didn't fuck with her or like her, and, all these things. And then on top of that, I couldn't deal with someone, I don't know. Kamala, she just, for her to be in her late 50s, 60s or whatever, she's definitely of the boomer generation. She's old. So, you're over here trying to be hip to millennials and Gen Zers. And it's that's why you pulled out Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion and Glorilla. And baby, I already knew that at them rallies she was going to lose. Because I was just that ratchetness does not, some black people will be but those are our people. No, them your people, because I don't relate to trash. I don't relate to lesser than. I don't relate to, and it's true. This is true. If my credit score is over 700, how could I possibly relate to somebody with a credit score of 300? If I live in the suburbs, how could I possibly relate to somebody in the projects? If I have a good paying job, how can I relate to somebody who did prison time and you're getting paid pennies on the dollar? It doesn't mean that I think like less of them or anything like that. And it doesn't make them bad. It doesn't make them a lot of things. I just say that they are not my people. And I don't know why people keep trying to say just because, look, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's an Arab, a Latino, another black person, white person, Asian, whatever. If we got the same credit score, we living in the suburbs, we are equally yoked. We got the same mindset. We're operating on the same frequency. It's never personal. It's just vibrational. End of the story. I don't know why, like, pro blacks, for example. Oh, see, you selling out and you this or you that. Being pro black, what does that have to do? What does that have to do with anything? A lot of pro blacks be married to white men and women or men and women of other races. So how are you pro black? I thought being pro black was you supported black love, a black man and black woman, but yet your spouse, him or her, is of a different race. Nothing wrong with that, but like, can you shut up? You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be like, what? But seriously, 2025 is just gonna be a wild year. And I say it's going to be a wild year because we weren't even able to go 24 hours. And honestly, I don't even think 24 hours is in a day no more. I really think like the day has got shorter. That's just me. But I could be right, I could be wrong. But it's just weird. I mean, I say it's weird because all last year, like, you know, for some reason, clocks kept being off. Like, okay, so, like, for example, if your cell phone is set for 9 p.m. and it's set for that time based off the cell towers, AT&T, Verizon, or whoever your cell phone server is, right? Whatever the time is in your time zone, because when you change time zones, your phone will pick up on the time zone change and automatically adjust, right? So at the end of the day, how come if I set my digital clock, I know it's set to the same time as my cell phone? Why suddenly is it like 20 minutes ahead, 15 minutes ahead? Like, but then I look, and I not only say that, but not just that, but even the time or the clock in my car, it will be set to the same time as my phone. And we're not talking about like, when we change the clock, when we flip the clock an hour back for fall or an hour ahead for spring. No, it's adjusted to the time on the cell phone. So how is it that the clock, on my dresser, as well as the clock in my car be off by minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes? Like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. Me personally, I was just like, I think that there are no longer 24 hours a day. I think we are down to like 23 hours or something. Like time somehow has just shifted and changed, but hey, at the end of the day, I look at it this way. A lot of people, what's funny? I got called a conspiracy theorist because I posted a meme about Kamala. I didn't even make the meme. I just seen the meme and it was hilarious. I mean, you had the whole Diddy thing going on. So it was Diddy, it was Mountain Dew, and it was Kamala, and it was like, Diddy, Diddy, do dumb D, or something like that, right? Whatever that little tune is. But the dumb part had the picture of Kamala, and I couldn't help but laugh. Because I remember when Trump was talking about Lysol, and people was making all kinds... Look, people memed the hell out of Trump. So how come people are so in their feelings because people are making memes about Kamala? I don't know these people from a can of damn paint, but I'm going to have myself a good laugh. Okay? I know that, you know what I'm saying? I've never heard of somebody say I make greens in a bathtub. A bathtub is the most filthiest place in a person's house. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how often this person cleans it or not. Some people have rings in their tubs. Like my uncle was the one that told me, if you want to know how clean or dirty a person is, go into their bathroom. You can see the rings in the toilet, shower, bathtub, the sink, the mirror. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot that you can tell about people just based off of going over to visit, But it's just interesting how people were just so bothered that, Kamala lost. And it's so funny because I had recently noticed that, like, these two chicks, that I knew of, because it ain't like I really personally know them. Just because I went to school with you don't mean I know you. I know of you because we might have had a class or you know somebody. But I just find it interesting because they wanted to unfriend me off of Facebook. I don't care. I didn't even notice you were gone. You did all that talk about fuck Trump and this and that and the third. I'm not bothered by anybody saying fuck Trump. Just like I'm not bothered by anybody saying fuck Kamala. I don't really care about politics. So it really doesn't matter. What I do care about is how these laws that they pass affect me, my family, whatever. And that's the thing. You do have to kind of, be mindful of these laws that they're passing, what they're doing behind the scenes. So we can't get distracted with, oh yeah, P. Diddy and, Luigi Magallon or whatever. The Tesla truck blowing up and all these things are happening for a reason because it's a distraction. And personally, being that America is Babylon, Babylon's fallen, so chaos comes before order. So, I don't know. Y'all comment down below and tell me what y'all think about what's going on. And we ain't even through January. We just started, right? Even though I personally celebrate the new year, March, like it's crazy. I thought about April Fools, right? And I feel like April Fools was created because they successfully fooled people. Back in like Greece and Roman times, they successfully fooled people into switching from the previous calendar to the Gregorian calendar, which is what we go on. And during that time, they decided, we're going to move New Year's from the spring to January to worship our God, our pagan heathen god, Janus. So we're going to come up with January, and then we're going to say that that's the new year. We're going to pop off fireworks and do all celebrations to this God. But a lot of people don't know that that's what they're doing. Like, for example, when I talk to people who are just so deeply programmed by church, you see all the witchcraft in the world, but you can't see the witchcraft in church. I think that it is definitely witchcraft and devilish to sit there and say, this bread represents the flesh of Jesus. That's cannibalism. I'm sorry. Why would I want to eat? If Jesus is a man or a person like myself, why would I eat of his flesh? That's cannibalism. Why would I drink of his blood? Cannibalism. But that's communion. That's what Christians do. And we don't question it. We just go along like the bad sheep that we are. We don't question nothing. And you know what? When Christians try to come to me and be like, oh, this and that, and I talk to them and I ask them questions, because again, I'm just here to make people think. You're trying to get me to believe what you believe. I'm not trying to convince you to believe anything, but I got questions and I want you to answer them. usually when I ask them these questions, they back off. They don't have an answer, and they will literally walk the hell off. And I'd be like, okay, well, that's the end of that. So I just find it interesting. Like, again, I let people perceive the world how they choose to perceive the world. I let people think how they think. I'm not here to convince nobody to change their mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm just expressing my opinions, my thoughts, and there are people out there who 100% agree. And even if you don't 100% agree, you might 90%, 80%, 70%, 60, 50, even if you 10% agreed. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with everything that other people say. There are some things where I would give them pushback, or, I may not agree with a portion, and that's okay. If we all agreed, there would be peace on earth. We wouldn't be dealing with, all of this stuff that's going on. Raping and killing and murder and all these things going on. So, y'all comment down below and tell me what y'all think. All right, peace, positive energy always creates elevation. Y'all let me know. Be safe this year, y'all. Because, it's about to be wild. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but it's about to be wild. Because we already wilding right now. And it was only January 1st, and today is the 3rd. So, I don't know. What y'all think gonna happen?